there's a presentation on what Rajinikanth seems to be doing or does not seem to be doing. Since 2017, he has kept everyone guessing when will his political outfit be launched. This is Rajini's big political gamble, which is still a big political mystery. Is he going to take that plunge ahead of Tamil Nadu 2021? That remains to be seen. One thing he has made very clear as he continues to flirt with political possibilities, he's made an announcement, I am not going to be Chief Minister.
A damp squib by superstar Rajinikanth. He is not entering politics just yet. He'll make the plunge only if there's an uprising for his model of governance. The veteran actor, who has dabbled with the idea of entering politics for long, announced that he won't be Chief Minister, but only head the party. There will be priority for those under 40, besides retired bureaucrats and judges with a service bent. The existing structure of 60,000 permanent booth-level workers will not be there. They will be engaged only for elections. This, he says, has led to massive corruption.
இப்போ நான் ரஜினிகாந்த் இதில் ஆட்சி தலைவரா இல்லை கட்சி தலைவரா அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது எனக்கு இந்த சிஎம் போஸ்ட் நான் எப்பவும் நினைச்சதே கிடையாது. அந்த சிஎம்ஐ நினைச்சு பார்க்கவே முடியாது. என்னால் அசம்பிளியில் உட்காந்துட்டு அவங்க பேசுறது என்னால் நினைச்சு கூட என்னால் பார்க்க முடியாது. அது எதத்திலேயே வரல, எனக்கு தெரியாது. அது 96 உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். எவ்வளோ கேட்டாங்க பிஎம்எல் 2 வாட்டி கூப்பிட்டு, இவங்களை கூப்பிட்டு இல்லைங்க 36 சிதம்பரம் நரசிம்மா பிஎம்எல் இது ஒரு சான்ஸு, திராவிட கட்சிகள் இது பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு சான்ஸ், நீங்கள் வாங்க நாம பண்ணுறோம். நோ சாரி.
In 1996, Rajinikanth's famous slogan against Jayalalitha helped the DMK Tamil Manila Congress combine sweep the elections. Rajini's political gestation period has been among the longest. After 2 decades of speculation, in 2017 he announced he will enter politics. He even expressed his willingness to work with actor-turned-politician Kamal Haasan. 3 years since his expression of intent, he is yet to clarify details of his party's structure and organization. With Tamil Nadu elections just a year away, the first after Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi died, Rajinikanth supports CAA and echoes the BJP's line on NRC and NPR, but claims he is not the national party's mouthpiece. Though the wait is long, he has still managed to create a lot of buzz. Over the last 30 years, except Jayalalitha, no film star has been so successful in Tamil Nadu politics, from the iconic Sivaji Ganesan to Rajinikanth. As the superstar continues his suspense over his political entry, the big question, is he sincerely hoping for voters' response to make up his mind, or is he building a case to gracefully exit? In Chennai with camera person Edwin and Cheryl, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
All right, I want to introduce Mr. N. Ram, Chairman of the Hindu Publishing Group, who joins us on this broadcast on this very interesting subject. Lalita Kumaramangalam continues to be with us. Mr. Ram, how long are you willing to wait for Rajinikanth to decide what his political structure is going to be, what his organization is going to be? I mean, you would know more. We can only guess.
Well, I've discussed this with him in the company of Cho Ramasamy several years ago, and nearly a decade ago, and it was the same position. But today I think his position is, he doesn't seem to be in denial. First of all, about his age, about his temperament, about his approach to politics, and basically saying that if my role is only to split votes and get to 15 to 20%, then people will say I'm a fool to take it up now because I had a chance in 1996. I doubt that he could have become chief minister in 1996. The DMK and AIDMK were far too strong for that, but that is his perception. But basically, I think he has realized, so that's why I say there's no denial. He's not in denial that he cannot do an NTR. He cannot do an NT Ramarao, who formed this party in 1982 and came to power with a tremendous majority in 1983. Remember that? But Ramarao was a different kind of person. His temperament was different. He was an enormously successful political leader, although he made the transition in a very short period from film star, superstar to this. So I think now it's a period where Rajinikanth is laying down conditions, a big ask. I don't think his followers will be able to create the upsurge that he wants.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do away with booth level workers and office bearers and just have them disband the whole structure soon after the election. And I don't think you can give 65% of seats, opportunities to people below, for 45 or 50, and pack the rest with people from other parties. That's what he said. We didn't have opportunities, and retired judges, retired IAS and IPS officers, and so forth. So it's a strange prescription for political success. But basically, he's saying that I cannot be the person you want.
No, would you, a little bit of a conspiracy theorist in me says that perhaps he has created conditions where he knows that this is not going to be successful. I mean, what do you think of him saying that he won't be chief minister? Obviously, every one of his supporters would have wanted to see him at the helm. Yeah. Secondly, he says priority will be given to people under 45. He himself is 69. Though I think this is a very welcome statement that he has made. Retired bureaucrats, judges, he wants. He says no booth level permanent workers. That system makes politics a profession, leads to corruption. Do you think these are very romantic political ideas that are not practical?
And I think he's deliberately kept it that way, laid out terms which are not going to be met in the real world of politics today, anyway. So he's raising the bar, but yes, romantic, or you can say it's unreal, not practical, and so on. At this stage, yes, sounds romantic. So he's basically preparing the way, saying that I'm not going to take this on. He also, I think, made a reference to his health, apart from his age.
Correct.
He's had health issues in the past. And so on. So I think it's a somewhat modest characterization of the situation as he sees it. And of course, the idea that he's not going to be a
chief minister.
He's not a remote control, but he said, I'll be party leader, but the role of the party will be to be sort of an opposition to the government. To correct this chief minister will be a CEO and all that.
Correct.
Now, these are not going to be acceptable to his followers
Enram,
and sympathizers.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you, realistically speaking, will we see any form of the politician called Rajinikanth? Or are these ideas too romantic and too far-fetched for this to be a reality before 2021?
Well, yeah. Extending your conspiracy theory, it could be that he's asking for this upsurge, asking people to, I thrice refuse the crown and so on, so Julius Caesar. But that's a conspiracy theory, and I don't really hold with it. At the moment, taking him at his word, I see it as a modest description of his current state, his age, his health problems, his temperament. I'm not going to sit in the assembly. I can't wait for 5 years. After that, people will say I'm a fool for doing now what I couldn't do at the age of, how old was he? 1996, 40 odd.
Yeah.
So his date of birth, December 12th, 1950. Yeah. So 46 years old. But of course, I don't buy the idea that he could have been chief minister in 1996. The two Jambavans, as he put it.
Correct.
Kalaignar and Jayalalitha were very much there.
He had no chance back then.
One other thing he said, which may be of interest, that I didn't say all these things together because my people would have not been able to swallow it. And then he compared it with the BJP. Interestingly enough, I don't know how he thought of that, doing Kashmir, and the nullifying 370, and then he mentioned Ayodhya and also CAA and so on, which of course he supports. To do it all together, he said minorities are angry. That's an interesting statement, even if it's not central to the issue. That so this is the kind of thinking that he reveals, I think. So I think it was I wouldn't consider it a joke or treat it as some kind of entertainment. I think he came out with his real feelings, unless, of course, I buy your conspiracy theory.
Okay. Okay, Lalita Kumaramangalam, very briefly. What do you think of politician Rajinikanth?
Yeah. Rajini has never really fully committed to being in politics, and I think today he's made a very sensible, from his point of view, and a very clever statement, where perhaps he could be paving the way for being more of an influencer than actually being in administration and governance. I think he's made it clear that he wants people below a certain age who are very well educated, who have experience in administration, know the laws, understand governance, etc. He knows he's not all of these. But he also is very well aware of the hold that he has over the common man in Tamil Nadu, regardless of what party they may belong to. Now, that is what that we need to understand. That you could be ADMK, MDMK, DMK, BJP, I mean, whatever party. But if you're a Rajini fan and then Rajini says something, normally they listen to him. This is what happened when he defeated Jayalalitha and the DMK swept the power in the 90s. Don't forget that. Now, 96. I don't think his hold is much less now. And also remember that if you take the moral high ground and said, what he said in Tamil was that, manasale yanik varave illa. That is, mere man mein kabhi ichha nahi thi ki mujhe CM banna hai. Now, that's a very significant statement, which shows that, you know, he's taking the moral high ground, and that is very attractive to people when he says that I want governance for my people, probably hinting that corruption needs to decrease and that Tamil Nadu needs to get back on track. The basic Tamilian does understand that, you know, we've started slipping in amongst the states.
So in the first election in 2021, where you will have no...
But he could be the person who decides who will be the next CM.
Correct. In the first election in 2021, where there will be no Jayalalitha, there will be no Karunanidhi, it's very clear that this gestation... Yeah, this gestation period is going to continue, or this long political gestation period of Rajinikanth is only going to continue. Let's see if he clarifies what his great political ambition and great plan is. Thank you so much, Mr. N. Ram, as well as Lalita Kumaramangalam, for joining us on this broadcast.